everyone. Thank you for joining us today for another feature flash. It's now April 2023, and we are having a few nice features for you that we have created in Q1, and we're also going to show you a sneak peek of some things we will be creating in Q2. Joining me here is Kristof, our amazing product owner. So, Kristof, I will give the floor to you. If there is any questions, please put them in the chat or in the Q&A function that you see to the right of the screen. Kristof, please go ahead.
Thank you, Sarah. Hi, everyone. It's indeed been a while, but no worries. We have some nice features to present today, as Sarah already mentioned. And we will, of course, build further upon the now already very famous Italian pasta account, as you can already see on the screen. So the feature we want to start with today is our latest addition to our format types. It is called the hotspot format. It is not so new anymore, but I thought it would be nice to showcase it once more here in the call for everyone. But why did we actually add the hotspot question to our already existing formats? Well, there are several advantages in using a hotspot question in a learning or training courses. One of them is actually increased engagement. Hotspot questions make learning more interactive and engaging, as a user is required to actively identify and select the correct or incorrect parts of an image. It also enhances retention, as user is required to visually identify the correct and incorrect parts of an image. This can actually help in the information retention towards the user. We also have improved assessment, and that is then more for the admins or the HR people among us. Hotspot questions can be used to assess a range of skills, such as visual recognition and attention to detail, and also comprehension of a topic, for example. As fourth, we also have flexibility. A hotspot question can be used in different ranges of context, from identifying parts of a machine to, for example, labeling parts in a pasta dish, as you will see in a couple of minutes. And then, as last one, we also highlighted the cost effectiveness. A hotspot questions is typically digital, and they are very cost-effective way to assess and reinforce learning without the need for very expensive physical materials or in-person assessment. So just 5 topics why we actually created the hotspot question and can actually help you in the overall experience towards the user. So let's cut the theory and let's go directly into the actual format so that you can all see how it's actually being worked on within the Mobtrain application. So you all see my screen, so the famous pasta account. And I have here a tile called the hot Italian sausage. When you click on it, you actually go into a normal learning path, as you all know, the crash course. When we access it, you directly see the image appearing, and this is our hotspot image. So you already see 5 hotspots that are indicated on the image, and you need to actually indicate which ones are correct. So you can select them, you can deselect them, and so on. Okay. If you select them all, so the correct ones, so what the question is asking, you actually have the same approach as we always do, where you actually give direct feedback to the user and also with the feedback screens. So for the user, very comprehensible, not a very difficult format. They just need to indicate what and how. If we then go to the CMS, I already created my learning path. I have here my steps. I'm going to add a step. Okay. And then you actually see a new addition to it, the hotspot image. And as always, it works in the same way. You need to indicate your text, you need to upload your image, and you need to provide the feedback screens, so the positive and the negative ones. So how do you basically add then the dots on the image? If you select choose, you actually upload your image. With the cutout tool, you can indicate which part of the image you want to show. We're uploading the image, and then you're automatically coming to the place where you can start adding your hotspots. At this point, we can only do 5. It also is programmed that you cannot put them too much to each other. So in case you want to indicate it on the mobile, because then with the fingers, when it's too close to each other, you might select the wrong ones. So we already built it in some safety zones around every hotspot. And then you just upload it uh, like this, and you can start indicating which ones are your valid responses. We can also start removing them here, and then you will see that they're also deleted within the image. Nothing more than this, very easy format. You upload your image, and then you start indicating the hotspots on the image, and you just publish it. Okay. So that's the first feature that we wanted to show you. The second feature is actually, let's go back to our homepage. The second one feature is brand new from the press. It's called the learning path rating. So let's again start with some theory and the principle behind this feature, why we actually did it. A rating system, you can most probably already imagine something about it. So this feature will provide the option to the user to rate a learning path after completing a level test. Okay, so very important, only after completing the level test. To do so, the user needs to select 1 to 5 stars. After this, they can also provide some comments why they actually gave this specific rating via an open text box. Okay. The rating, so both the stars and the comments, are always optional. We do not want to force a user to actually give the feedback, so it's always free. All right. So why did we do this? Is the feature will actually enable you as an admin to evaluate your learning paths much better. You will be able to actually see the average rating for each path in the CMS, as well as the individual ratings and feedbacks. Okay. And this way, you as the admin or the HR person can more easily discover the pain points of each learning path and evaluate also which learning paths actually need to have a possible revision or not. Okay. It is a feature that needs to be turned on by our customer success managers. So in the next meetings, please talk about it with them, and most probably they will also suggest it, of course, in those meetings. Okay. So let's go back to our account, so the Pasti account, to showcase it how it works. Let's again open our past path. So we already played the module, so now we actually need to do the level test. As I said, it only is activated upon the level test. So we start with the test. Same question, of course, because we only have one question in the format. All right. From the moment that I tick on thanks and close, the rating automatically pops up, and you can start adding your 5 scale here, your 5-star rating here. You can indicate it, and I can write a comment. Very nice. All right. From the moment that I submit it, you also see a thank you message towards the user, and you're automatically being passed again to the homepage, so I can continue with my learnings. If I then go into the CMS, let's go back here. Let's do a refresh. Okay. So from the moment that the feature is activated, you will see an extra column appearing on your learning paths, where you directly see the average rating of all the comments that were given. This is the one that we just did. So you see that I gave a 4-star rating and only one person commented on it. Below, you already have 2 people commented on it with an average rating of 4.5. If you then access the learning path, you also see that there's a new tab at the side or at the end. It's called rating. If you open that one, you actually see your 5-star scales appearing again, and with the comments next to it. So I gave the 4-star rating. When you click on it, you directly see as well all the comments that were actually given. So very nice what I just have typed. We also provided an export to Excel, so you can basically export it. You will see all the columns, all the users, all the information that you need to do further analysis on it if you want. Okay, let's perhaps pause here if there are already questions about those 2 features. If not, I can just continue.
Please. Okay, I was wanted to say, please put your questions in the chat or Q&A box to the right if you have any. And so on the HubSpot question and the course rating.
Both of them are very user friendly, as everything that we always try to do, of course, within our CMS and towards the user. So very comprehensible. Doesn't need a lot of IT knowledge to actually set it up. So it's very straight to the point, I think.
True. If you have any questions, you can also post them at the end of the webinar or to your customer success manager, of course. Please continue, Kristof.
Okay. Then the third interesting topic we want to share with you all is basically the rollout of our product management tool. It's it's a next step in the process, and we're also a very nice way to actually include you as clients more in this whole process of product development and product creation. There will be an easy way for both internal and external stakeholders to actually submit their feedback and suggestions. Um, After the submission, we as a product team then can connect these insights and votes of all the things that you will see in a minute to actually initiatives and epics to measure user impact. Okay. And then as the last step is basically to prioritize all these epics and initiatives and base it on quantitative data so that we're actually going to develop something that is interesting for the whole user base and all our clients. Okay. Um, this is a system that we will use for it, so you'll see it on the screen now. We already created 4 different tabs. So we have a feature request. This is aspects that we are thinking about to start creating in the future. We will also start filling more things into this view. We have an in discovery part is basically things that we already having moved from thinking about it to already start more brainstorming and how it would actually work and so on. And then we have the third tab is the in development. These are aspects that we are actually working already on. So basically the things that we will cover in Q2. And then the released, yeah, the two aspects that we just showed already. So this tool is also going to be a live feature and a live platform that will start filling more and more. Nice thing is that um, everybody that has access to the link can also start voting on the tools. You can click on the tool and actually see what it is about and can start voting. And then we're coming back to the quantitative data in the end that I said, so that we're going to see how valuable it is for all of you. The nice thing is well that if there is something on that you want to have that you don't see in this platform, you can also submit the ID. Write as many comments as you can so that it's very clear for us what the feature is about that you want to see. And then we can start adding it to the platform as well and start thinking about it if it is very interesting. Okay. So this is a link that your customer success managers will also share with you, and most probably it will also be in the recap of this call. Okay. So
Yes,
a very
indeed.
nice addition to our way of working actually.
Yes, indeed. And it will be a very nice way of yeah, getting all of your feedback, seeing if features that are requested by one client, for example, maybe also resonate with other clients. So, as customer success, we are also very excited about this roadmap. So great. Thank you, Kristof, also for sharing.
Yeah.
Are there any questions so far, maybe about this roadmap website? And maybe a question, Christoph. All of the features that are submitted are going to be on this page, or how does that work?
No,
So people submit an
it's still
idea.
it still comes in the backlog. So it comes in our system that we all see. Then we start putting it together. If we see, for example, that a same feature is requested 4 or 5 times, we can also start putting it on the feature request so that more people can or more clients can vote on it or comment on it and so on. So depending on how interesting something is for us at least as well, then we're going to decide where to place it on.
Okay,
But don't hesitate, put everything in that you think of, because there will be features that we haven't thought about it in general. So everything is welcome.
great. Thank you, Christoph. Okay, waiting on questions. Maybe Christoph, you can move ahead to the last part of this webinar.
Yeah, perfect. So indeed, the last part of the call is to give you a bit of insights into our next quarter. So the things that we're going to develop in Q2. Um, First, to tackle a very interesting new login registration invitation method. Okay, so we actually call it a simplified access to the application. Without going too much into detail, what it will do, it will be a simplified procedure to give user access to MobiTree, where the admin will basically be able to create an easy link that then can be shared in different ways to the user, and they can basically do a self-registration as you see in other platforms as well. So the user will be automatically created in MobiTrain and will be assigned to specific user groups in store so that they also see the content. Um, it's not necessary for the user to set a password in the first stage. They can do it in their profile if they want, but that's not even needed. And via a magic link, it's even called like that, it's a technical term, a magic link, users will be able to basically log in time after time after time again. So a more easy way to access the platform. So this will allow clients to get their users on the platform also much faster, and it will also be an alternative in creating the users manually or via import, or perhaps it will also replace the very complex integrations that we sometimes see. So
Yes.
very interesting thing that will come.
I think it's a great way for clients that don't have the user details yet of a person or that don't have user details at all and want to give actually the power to the end user to register for the trainings. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
great.
Okay, and then the last one actually, from my part at least, is the coaching tool. It's something that we talked about it already during one of the last sessions and the last couple of years. So in Q2 and basically for the rest of the year as well, in the remaining part of the year, we will invest more on the coaching tool. More specifically on starting to connect the coaching tool with the actual user's learning application. So that the user just has one platform where they go to and where they see on one side everything about learning, all the courses, external content, everything that is created there, and on the second part, everything around the coaching, the development plan, the action plans, and so on, and also start have the possibility to interact with the coaches, so that everything is basically going to be combined and more as seen as one whole. So very exciting times to come up as well on this part of the product.
Okay, very nice. Of course, there's just a few clients now that have already used the coaching tool to the fullest. So I think for clients that think this is really interesting for them as well, it's a good timing then to start looking into it.
Yeah, and perhaps as well a nice topic for one of the next feature flashes to really start again with the coaching, the basics, what it does, and how it can be used for clients, perhaps.
Yes, indeed. Good idea, Kristof. Okay. We will be touching upon this topic again. Great. If there are no more questions, I think, Christoph, your explanations was really good and thorough, very visual as well. So we will be sending the recap with a recording to all of our participants. Thank you for joining us, and thank you, Christoph, for the great explanation.
You're welcome.
See you next quarter. Goodbye.